Okay, Chaver, we're in. Apologies, I'm not there with you in person, but okay, let's learn. So Rav Eli had a question. It seems like the Chaver did a Gewaldige Chazara, and there's one detail which is a difficult detail. What exactly happened at the end of the day? Are we sticking with the idea of Mali Egroif or not? And I want to speak it out as clearly as possible right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the teretz that we left off last time, and then we'll go straight into the new Gemara. And as always, in particular Kinyan fashion, if someone feels that it's not clear, please, we'll go over it again. We're not going weiter until it's clear. So let's pick it up. The Gemara ended off with a question. And the Gemara said, I'm just going to get a running start as everyone gets the Zoom set up, about 10 lines from the bottom. The first word line is Hazikenim. Says the Gemara, Shiny Mita, Hayulu Gaba Asuya. So we had a stira. What's going on? We have the din in the Mishnah. We have the din of Oyel by Shar. So the Gemara says a bed is different because it's meant to sleep on top of it and not underneath it. Says the Gemara, 1 second. Shvarim nami ligabon asuyan. It's the same thing. So ki asa Rav in Amar Rav Elazar. He says shiny shvarim. And this part I'm just reading a little bit faster because I'm sure everyone here already chazed this many times. Shiny shvarim. Hayul makinim ala rayim neachama ubiksham neagishamim. That a shar shields from the rain, from the sun. Says him, I don't understand. The bed as well. Yachim itinami al makinal minal v'sadon shal tachtel. So Ella Amar Rava. So Ella always means new teretz. So a bunch of people are asking, whenever we say new teretz, we have to know how clean should we wipe the slate? Are we saying that everything is out the window? Are we sticking with some of our preconceived notions? And most notably, the question is, what about the din of Mali Egroiv? We learned that Rabbi Yehuda is Maida, that if it's a Mali Egra, if it's the size of a fist, then it's going to be an oil even without kavan. So the easiest way of learning the Gemara, and again the truth is, the Chaver is on the ball, this is seemingly a detail in the Rishonim, but the easiest way of learning is we're sticking with Mali Egra. We're sticking with it. And the question is, I don't understand, why by a bed is it different from the shar? The question that we started off with. And we answered that the bed is made to sleep on. But we said, what about the shar? And went back and forth and back. So now, what's the Gemara answering? Elo amarava, a shar is different. Meaning, really, the fact that it is a Mali Egroif should be enough to make something even without kavana. But a shar is going to be the oddball. The shar is going to be the oddball. Why? Because a shar by its very creation is made to shield. And now we can go back and we can connect all our dots. When it comes to the bed, we're going to say, wait, didn't we just say that a Mali Egroif is enough for it to block? So why, according to Rabbi Yehuda, you allowed to sleep onto the bed? So what's the answer? That the bed is made ligaba. It's made to sleep on top of it. So that's why he pulls it out of the category. But wait, a shar does the same thing. A shar is different. Meaning, but now if you go back, because everyone did a beautiful chazara, and they were trying to connect all the dots, back on Amud Aleph, we still could stick with Mali Egroif, we're going to admit, but since a bed is pulled out because it's made legaba, and a shar is made to shield. That is teretz number 1. Teretz number 2 is a teretz in Succah. Says the Gemara, Iba Yisema. And this teretz, let's just pay a drop more attention, because this is going to bring us straight into the new Gemara for today. Rabbi Yehuda l'taimei. The Amar, what does Rabbi Yehuda hold? A chiddush. Sukkah diras keva b'inon. And this is something that when we learn the first parak of Mir Tashem is going to get a lot of airtime. Sukkah diras keva. We were growing up our whole lives that a sukkah is not keva. A sukkah is temporary. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda says a sukkah has to be keva. Therefore what? Vavle mita. A bed is diras arai. And a sukkah is an oyel keva. And therefore lo yasi oyel arai. Umevatel oyel keva. So again, let's speak it out. Really, the fact that something is a mali agroif, really, what should the din be? It should, yes, be an oyel. So what? So now we have a question in Sukkah. If it is an oyel, how does Rabbi Yehuda allow you to sleep onto the bed? And the din answer is because the bed is temporary. And the temporary nature of the bed does not take you out of the permanent nature of the Sukkah. But you're going to ask me, go back into your Mishnah on oyelais, and you want to know what's going on with the boulders. Rabbi Yehuda's ma'ideh that it's a malay egrif. We could stick with that, and it's a new teretz in Sukkah. I'm going to pause for questions in a moment. Let's just get to the two dots. A new Gemara asks the Gemara. 1 second. V'harav Shimon damar nami sukkah diras keva binon. But Rav Shimon holds you also need diras keva. So if we didn't pause for a chazara, many people might wonder, Rav Shimon, who in the world is Rav Shimon? So, I'll be honest, I probably didn't do as good as chazara as you all did. So what I did was I peeked at Rashi. And Rashi reminds us of Rav Shimon in the Mishnah. So you all just learned Rav Shimon in the Mishnah. So as much as we broke due to timing and whatnot, maybe it was the siyata deshmaya. It was the right answer. Because now that you went back to Rav Shimon in the Mishnah, what did Rav Shimon in the Mishnah say? So everyone quickly flip back to the Mishnah. Or if you know it by heart, that's perfectly fine as well. The Mishnah ended with Rav Shimon teaching us, Amar Rav Shimon, Maisa b'tevi avdai. Rav Shimon told over the story with Tevi. So what was the concluding line of that story? Lifi darkeinu lamanu. What do we learn from that whole story? We learn sha'yoshein tachas amita. You're not yoitze. So that is not like Rav Yehuda. So Rav Shimon and Rav Yehuda are diametrically opposed. Rav Yehuda says you can yes sleep onto the bed, and Rav Shimon says you cannot sleep onto the bed. So what's the problem? We just answered the why does Rav Yehuda allow you to sleep onto the bed? Because Sukkah's keva, says the Gemara. Rav Shimon holds exactly the same. Rav Shimon also holds a sukkah has to be keva. So how in the Mishnah does Rav Shimon end up that you cannot sleep onto the bed? And Rav Yehuda says you could, yes, sleep onto the bed. So back into the Gemara, everyone. Back into the Gemara. Rav Shimon, we're 5 lines from the 2 dots. Rav Shimon damar nami sukkah diras keva be'inon. Rav Shimon holds that the sukkah has to be keva. Ve'asi oyel arai umevatel oyel keva. And Rav Shimon clearly holds that you are not allowed to sleep onto the bed. Why are you not allowed to sleep onto the bed? Seemingly, the oyel arai, the temporary nature of the bed, is yes mivatel the oyel keva. So the Gemara asks, you just explained to me that according to Reb Yehuda, the reason you are yes allowed to sleep onto the bed is because the sukkah is keva. But Rav Shimon holds the same thing, and he holds you're not allowed to sleep onto the bed. So we have a contradiction, we have a question, Rav Yehuda versus Rav Shimon. Let's speak it out one more time. If you hold the sukkah is keva, what did Rav Yehuda answer? That's the reason you could sleep onto the bed. Because the temporary nature of the bed will not take you out of the keva, the permanent nature of the sukkah. But Rav Shimon also holds that a sukkah is keva. If everyone is wondering where do we know that from, so if you peek on the side to Rashi, Rashi quotes a Gemara back in Daf Zayin. The Rav Shimon is one of 4 people that say a sukkah has to be keva. So if a sukkah has to be keva, why does Rav Shimon not allow you to sleep onto the bed? Answers the Gemara in or not in, depending how you learn with the brackets over there. Beha pligi. This is the depth, the detail of the machlekes. Beha, with this, pligi, they argue. Mar savar, one opinion holds, oyel arai is mivatel, asi oyel arai umivatel oyel keva. That's Rav Shimon. So Mar Savar, the first one, Rav Shimon holds that the temporary nature of the bed is yes mevatel, the permanent nature of the sukkah. And therefore, if you sleep under the bed, you are not yoitze. Umar Savar, and Rav Yehuda holds, loy asi oyel arai, umevatel oyel keva. So the machlokes Rav Yehuda and Rav Shimon is this detail. So now everything comes beautifully full circle. We learned the Mishnah. We conclude Rav Yehuda says, sleep under the bed. Rav Shimon says the story with Tevi, the Eved of Rav Gamliel, and we see from the way that they spoke, you can't sleep under the bed. So what's really going on in the Mishnah? It seems such a simple machlokes. You know what's going on in the Mishnah? Everyone agrees that this, not everyone, Rav Yehuda and Rav Shimon agrees that the sukkah is keva. But now the question is, does being under the temporary bed remove you from being in the sukkah? Rav Yehuda says no, whereas Rav Shimon says yes. Rav Yehuda says it does not remove you, therefore you are yes yoitzi, you're considered to be in the sukkah. Rav Shimon says it does remove you, therefore you are not yoitzi, you're considered to be under the bed. Again, we're going to stop. We can't encourage enough chazara. It seems a lot of people did incredible chazara over Shabbos, all the way back from the Mishnah Baruch Hashem. And if you did, I'm sure you enjoyed this Rav Shimon, because if you did a chazara back from the Mishnah, now it's ma'amish pulling it all together. Tomorrow we'll pick up Mirz Hashem and we'll start the new Gemara taking us to the next Mishnah. And it could be in classical Kinyan fashion, we'll then do another whole chazara of everything together, unless the Olam is at the point of that they mean new and they're holding in every detail. We'll take a poll at that. But it's 3 minutes to Ma'ariv, I don't know, a few minutes to Shacharis. So Chevra, let's do a beautiful chazar. If anyone wants to stay on, I'm happy to stay on for questions.